Well, hey guys, welcome back once again to HarleyDayRider. And today, this video is going to talk about going on a motorcycle vacation and planning your route. So routes are way different than a plan. And I'll talk to you throughout this video about the difference between those two. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna get geared up. I'm gonna get out here on the bike and we'll get rolling with today's video. So let's go. Alright guys, now that we're out here on the road, on this little bit windy day today, I better just keep the shield down because it is very windy out here. You know, I opened the show up here and we're talking today about motorcycle touring, or motorcycle vacations, I guess we'll just classify it as. But so, and I already told you, a little bit about the basis of this video is, when you're in a car, and many of you have taken car trips, I'm sure, maybe even, we used to camp with the kids and put them in the car, and, we would strive at that time to get from point A to point B. But when you're on a motorcycle, the idea is to plan yourself a nice route. And what I mean by route is not, okay, I got this major highway, that major highway, and that major highway, and then I'm at my destination. Riding a motorcycle, guys and girls out there, is all about riding the motorcycle, right? Alright, HDR, you don't need 6th gear on this road. Alright, and you can see this is a lovely 2-lane road I'm on right now. Alright, really nice 2-lane road here. And I like riding 2-lane roads as much as I can. So the idea is, if you're new to motorcycle touring, is to pretty much, as much as humanly possible, stay off the major highways. We don't have to be on the highways at all. What you need to do is just map a plan. And I'm going to talk to you here in the next segment here about a little bit of mapping and how we can go about doing that. But myself and Miss HDR will sit down months ahead of time before we go on a trip. And we know general areas that we want to visit, but the one thing we always strive to do is we never plan or never route the same route out and the same route back. So we're always constantly looking for ways of making loops so you never backtrack. So that's the first key, is never backtrack when you're on a motorcycle vacation. Because let's face it, you can see more if you don't backtrack. You can make loops. So we'll sit down and we'll start designing a loop out. We'll look at some maps, we'll look at some planners, and we'll say, okay, how are we going to start this particular vacation? Where are we going to head first? And then you have to have a general idea of how many miles you want to run a day. Okay, our max run has been 425 miles in one day. Now that may sound like a lot to a lot of you out there, because you ride like today I'm riding, and if I rode 400 miles, I'd be exhausted. But when you're on vacation, you're trying to get from, they're called basically, I guess, more or less sight points or waypoints, or however you want to say it, destinations along the way. You want to be pretty close to that area. So we'll do, like I said, a max of 425. We try to max out at 400. But you're stopping every 100 miles along the way. You're getting fuel, you're taking a break, you're stretching your legs. So the first part of motorcycle touring is make a general plan of what you want to see. That is the first point that you're going to have to worry about. What do you want to see along the way? All right. Let me take a ride up here and still motivate along here, and we'll start talking about the next section here. All right, guys. So one way you can start routing your trips, obviously, is to get out a paper map. And hopefully this audio recorder is picking me up and not all this wind out here, and hopefully you can see me okay. So paper maps are a great resource. You know, I also found that when you're going to visit an area such as Sturgis or Tennessee, we're actually going into Ohio here in June. When you're going into those areas, you can actually even request a map of the area to give you all of the roads, all the motorcycle roads around it that you're going to want to ride. And that's an awesome thing to do. And I received one from Ohio. I believe I still have my one from Tennessee. And I wanted to show you a little video clip. Now we're getting ready. I'm going to set the stage for you here. Myself, Bodine, and Bronco Rider getting ready to go on a ride from a cabin we were staying at into Tennessee. And we were going to ride some back roads and some side roads. So you'll see here in this video clip what I'm talking about. So, well, let's go ahead and just play this video clip now, and I'll show you how the planning is actually done once you're at the destination that you're going to. So let's go ahead and run that clip now. Okay, folks, this is our plan today. So we're up in this area. We're going to be coming all the way down here. We're going to come down into Cosby, if you can see Cosby here. We're cutting across through Gatlinburg. Then we're coming down. We're going to come down 441, which is in the Smokies. Stop at this overlook, see what's going on there. Come down into Cherokee, North Carolina. We'll probably go this way, I would think. Is that right, Bodine?
I think so.
So we're going to go this way for time reasons. Come across Cherokee through Maggie Valley. Come back up through Fines Creek. I thought, oh, we're going to ride the Rattler. See the Rattler? We'll come up this way, cut back across 25, back up to 321, and come back to the house here, or to the cabin. Should be here about 7 p.m. So if you never see this video, we're lost somewhere in here, come find us. That wouldn't make sense because you didn't see the video. All right, but this is the map. This is all the roads we can ride, but we're not here for 3 months. We're only here for 3 more days. So, all right, thank you. Talk to you soon. All right, with that said, I think, man, it's getting really windy out here today. I mean, like I said, I hope the audio recorder is working here okay. It's been pretty decent, but I'm going to go ahead and fire the bike up here and do some more riding, and we'll talk more about this topic on the road. So let's go ahead and get back out there on the road. Okay, so as we're moving on here with this topic, added on to those maps I just told you about that you can use, and you've seen us using one of the maps of Tennessee to kind of map out some routes down there. Another good thing to carry with you on a trip, or anytime you're touring on a motorcycle or whatever, believe it or not, is a road atlas. Now you may say, HDR, a road atlas? Man, I got GPS, I got all this fancy stuff on my motorcycle. Why would I need a road atlas? Well, the truth is, when we went to Sturgis, we went with the other couple, the one gentleman we went with just happens to be a truck driver. Now, many truck drivers will tell you they live by a road atlas. They have road atlases in their trucks. And I said, a road atlas? What are we going to use that for? You know the best thing that road atlas gave us at night? We were able to sit around, you know, have a nice cup of coffee, or, you know, a nice, some kind of an adult beverage. And we were able to actually sit around and look at the road atlas without having a computer screen up or gathering around a computer monitor, and look at the different roads around where we were riding. So it just gave us that second part, you know, of navigation that you're going to be looking at. Now you could pick up a road atlas. Here's a picture of one right here. I found this picture actually at walmart.com, so you can definitely pick up a road atlas at Walmart, and it's just something nice to have on your bike. Put it in your saddlebag, put it in your tour pack. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, not a lot of extra weight there. But what he did tell me, this is really good. Now this is coming from, you know, an old timer, a lot older than I am anyway. Somebody that's been on motorcycle touring trips and truck driving trips across this great nation. He said, you know what, HDR? And I said, what's that, bud? He goes, well, let me tell you. He said the batteries never need charged in this thing. You'll never lose a signal with this road atlas. It's always available to you if you put it on your motorcycle somewhere. Put it in one of the bags and just keep it in there. And no matter where you go, you can always look at that and find some really, really beautiful roads. And we used it all over Sturgis to ride all the roads. Now again, like I said, Sturgis does have the paper maps, and I don't know if I mentioned or not, but if you find a website, a tourism site for any of these places, Ohio, Sturgis, Tennessee, and you send them an email with your mailing address, they'll usually mail you these maps for free. And it's just a great tool to have, man. When you get in those areas, and you don't miss those fantastic roads, you know. You come home, people are like, hey, did you ride that road? Did you ride that road? You're like, no. You won't miss them, because if you have the tourism map on top of your road atlas, you're good to go. So, but those are two very important items to have. You know, at the very least, stop at a gas station somewhere in the area where you're at and buy a map. You know, buy a paper map. People don't put enough emphasis in paper maps anymore. I mean, GPSs are great. I mean, I can sit here right now, I can turn my map on, and believe it or not, and even the Harley maps, people say, as bad as they are, myself and Mrs. HR use these maps a lot, and we'll just click it on. When we're going from one place to another, we'll click it on scenic route, and it takes us on some beautiful, beautiful back roads. So it does do a pretty good job. Yes, you got to pay an extraordinarily high amount of money to update them, but it doesn't do a bad job. So there you have it. All right. As I said, I don't want this video to get long. I got a lot to show you here, a lot to talk about. So we're going to keep motivating on here. Okay, guys, boy, that was an amazing ride out there, huh? Man, thanks for going out there and riding with me. I really do appreciate that. You know, I've given you a lot of information about route planning and how to plan your next motorcycle trip instead of, well, how to route your next motorcycle trip. Let's say that. Because as we learned, planning is way different than routing. It's just two totally different things. So we talked a lot about that. What I'm going to do now is I want to take you over to the computer and give you a simulation of how we're going to map out or route our vacation coming up. And I'll probably give you the one to Ohio that's coming up here in June with the other two guys. So Bronco Ride and Bodine 52. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. But man, thanks for riding along with me on this part of the journey. Let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and go up to the computer room, and we're going to start working on the computer. And I'm going to show you just a scenario of how to route your next motorcycle trip. Let's get started. Okay, now we made it back to the computer here, and I wanted to show you what we use, myself and Mrs. HR, to route our rides. So what we're going to look at today is maps.harley-davidson.com. Now you can also use Google Maps, but this is what I prefer. And the reason I prefer this is because it saves all of my rides that I've previously created. And it's really easy to use. It also allows you to download a GPX file. Now wait, you're saying I don't have a Harley HDR, so I don't want to see this. It's free for anybody to use. So even if you don't own a Harley, you can still create an account on here and use it absolutely free. And it works fine for all motorcycles, and the GPX file should upload fine to your Garmin or to any GPS that you may have. So how do you create a new ride? It's very easy. Go up to the top here where it says top right, where it says create, and click on create. All right. Now, your current location. So we're in Burgettstown, PA. There we go. Burgettstown, Pennsylvania. And we're going to go with the guys to Athens, Ohio. Okay. Now what this does, it gives me that route. Okay, now I don't know what this route is. I'm not really sure. Let's try to blow it up and see if it's on major, and it is on major highways. You can see where it says Interstate 79. I don't ride highways on a motorcycle trip. I try very hard not to. If I'm trying to make up time, I do, but I'm trying very hard not to. So what can we do here? Where it says avoid down here at the bottom, I click on the little gear on the bottom left, and I said, hey, let's avoid highways. So now it's going to give me a much better route. You can say avoid toll roads. Maybe we don't want to take any toll roads. And let's pull this map back up here again. And we'll blow this up a little, or take this out a little bit here. So there you go. That is my trip. And now you can see I'm riding through Marietta, Ohio, Parkersburg, Ohio, New Martinsville, and I know those are all back roads. If you blow this stuff up, you can see where it's even nice, and there's some twisties in there, and it's just a lot better ride. So that's what you're looking to do, right? You're making a better ride. Now, let's say on here you want to come home, and you're not really sure how you would come home. So what I would do here is I would start looking at these roads, not the main highways, right? 79, what's this, 77. I want to try to stay off of those. So if I'm down here in Athens, and I want to work my way back up home, what I would just start doing is, so we want to add a location, and you want to blow your map up a little bit. And this is the way myself and Mrs. HDR does it. So here's Caldwell. Okay, so I want to come back up these back roads here through this McConnellsville and Caldwell. There it is, Caldwell, Ohio. So I do this, and you can see now where it's starting to map me back without going home the same route. I'm picking a new route to go home. And it did its job. It's going on this back road right here because it's avoiding highways. All right, the next place I want to go here is add a location. And let's see if we can pick out a location here across this route up to Barmersville. Is add a location and type it in there. Barnesville, Ohio will be your next location. So you can see how I'm already building my circle, okay? Now, it is a little glitchy. Watch it and be careful with it when you're mapping these out. Make sure you're blowing it up and getting a good look. The next place we're going to go is Cadiz, Ohio. So let's go Cadiz, Ohio. You can see where it mapped it out there for us. The next thing we're going to do to come back to our location here, and I know this road comes back into our house, is go into Weirton, West Virginia. Okay. And then we're going to go back here to Burgestown. Back to Burgestown, Pennsylvania. And there you go. Now, that simply, I have that mapped out. It's very easy to do, and you can see how many locations we have opposed to waypoints. Be careful with waypoints because sometimes the GPS on the Harleys, especially, I know, will take you like down a side street or something and not pinpoint you. I'd rather use locations and make this loop. Once you're done with it, make sure you hit Save Ride. Okay, Save Ride. And we're going to obviously call this ride Athens, Ohio, so I can meet up with the guys. Athens, Ohio. Okay, we're going to save it. Maybe. There we go. Okay, Athens, Ohio. Now we're going to export the GPX file. This is the file that you put on a thumb drive, plug this into your motorcycle, and transfer it to your GPS on your Harleys anyway. So if you go here and go download GPX, and this is already says Athens, Ohio. Notice it has an underscore. Don't put a space in there. And what I do is I create a folder on my computer somewhere. I don't know, we'll call it downloads, and we'll make a folder here under downloads called, I don't know, trips. Oops. Come on, HDR, quit typing there. Typos, okay? Trips, and we're just going to hit save. Once you have that GPX file, here it is right here, show it in your Finder or show it in your, and this will work the same on Windows or a Mac or Linux computer, whatever. Here's your GPX file. All you got to do is right click on copy, stick your thumb drive in and copy it to your thumb drive. Take your thumb drive out, plug it in the bike. And I have a video on that. And at the end of this video, you'll see it'll be one of my referred videos. So you can go back and see how to install this GPX file onto your motorcycle. Okay? So folks, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it was a very fun time shooting it, as you've seen all the different locations I rode to today and all the different aspects of shooting a video that I went through.
I used 4 cameras and an audio digital recorder to shoot today's video, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure the editing is going to be a trip also for sure. Because then I also have the computer generated video here that I just gave you the demo. So, but thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it helps you out to plan your trip, or not even plan. I mean, I'm sorry, I keep saying plan, to route your motorcycle trip, and you're gonna have a much better time, man. Stay off the highways and byways, hit them back roads, and you're gonna have a lot of enjoyable memories. I know myself, Miss HDR, has seen so much through this great nation already, and I'm sure we have a lot more to see for sure. So take care, everybody. Remember, ride your own ride. Be safe out there. HarleyDayRider be down and out in the beautiful studios in the beautiful countryside here of southwestern Pennsylvania. Take care, everybody. I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye for now.